you all this praise, but these last two games, this has been a little shaky. You taking out the hot hand and just letting things happen. He said, I'm not even gonna take out the hot hand. I'm gonna start off with a fast pace. And that's exactly what they did. They kept the pace. And some people would say, I can't sing it for copyrights, but I'm gonna try my hand. Baby, waiting all too long. Because that's what Mike and them was saying, you know what I'm saying? Because the Jackson 5, they was putting them up. And the Pacers rolled past the Thunder 108 to 91. And again, if you tuned in to Unfazed last night, you could see at some point they was up by like 30. So to go up by 30 in a game 6, saying I'm not gonna go down without swinging to force a game 7. I mean, I picked the Pacers in 7, but I just want to hear from my guys right now because I know they're gonna have a lot to say about what OKC gonna do when they get back home. So Dave, Pacers force a game 7. How you feeling?
This has been a great series, man. This has been a great NBA Finals. I'm honestly, other than that blowout last night, it's been very competitive for almost every single game. It's been close just about every single game. One team had took over, and then they got back close within 2, and then the Thunder took over. But last night, the Pacers played their game. They played their pace of the game. They controlled the entire game. I think the closest it was is when it was 13-12. After that, the Pacers just took over. The Pacers pretty much they dominated. I think at the end of the third, it got to where it was a 14-point lead, and it's like OKC might come back. And then Nembhard hits that buzzer beater 3, and it's just like, all right, well, it's just not the night. And then you look on early in the fourth quarter, he pretty much the head coach for the Thunder, pretty much sat all the starters. He was like, well, there's no point. We're just gonna go ahead and prepare for game 7 at home and just take it there. And just like I did after game 5, after game 6, I'm gonna give you credit. You in game 5, you sat TJ McConnell when he was the hot hand. You started him early and you kept him in the game when you needed to. That's why Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the NBA, because he knows when he needs to make adjustments. He makes those adjustments. And that's exactly what he did. Shout out to Pascal Siakam. That boy was conjuring spirits or something before the game. When he rolled his eyes out, everybody thought he was doing something crazy. And then next thing you know, he has back-to-back plays, the steal from Tyrese Halliburton to drive the ball, passes in between 2 players, and he goes and dunks from Jalen Williams. And then to end the first quarter, the fade away at the buzzer. The momentum was going right there. So I got a question for y'all, because this seemed to be a conversation after the Eastern Conference Finals. How are we feeling now if Pascal Siakam wins the MVP, the Finals MVP? This is it going to be a robbery for Tyrese Halliburton now?
Quick answer: no.
That's what us.
Well, yeah.
I don't think we say he got robbed though.
It's not you. It's not y'all. This happened in the chat. So I'm asking y'all. Y'all think would it be a robbery? And I don't think it was a robbery during that time, because Siakam played great and he's playing great right now. Mm-hmm. So Pascal Siakam's ball and Tyrese Halliburton showed up. He had those 2 deep threes, one from the logo. That Tyrese Halliburton showed up. Everybody showed up. Nembhard showed up. Nesmith showed up. This was a game where they just took over. It looked like the Thunder looked dead in that game. Mm. They looked like they didn't have the energy, the sense of urgency, or anything to close out. It's almost like they wanted to lose to go home. And that's not, and I'm not saying they lost on purpose, but they didn't play to win. No. That's all I'm saying. They did not play to win that game. The Pacers played like it meant something to them. And the OKC did not. SGA did not play well. He had 8 turnovers in that game, which is not good. It's absolutely terrible. And then Jalen Williams had a plus minus of minus 40. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Game history
ever. And then we had people saying that he might be the best second option in the league. Like, are we going to really do that after one series? Did we not see all the other series where he was struggling? Yeah. And all of a sudden, because of in the finals, he's playing. He has a 40-point game. Now everyone wants to say he's the best second option in the league. I'm sorry, LeBron James is still in the league. LeBron is the second option now. He's the best second option in the league. I'm sorry, you're not putting J-Dub over him. Jaylen Brown just won the Finals MVP. You're not going to put him over him right now. I'm sorry. There are other guys you can name that have played a lot better, more consistently than J-Dub has in the playoffs. But that's just my take on the Pacers. Deserve to win that game because they played a lot better. They were well coached. They had all the momentum. They had all the energy. They controlled the game. OKC did not play well. Period.
All right, so there's 3 C's that you can say here, and I'm not talking about cocaine cowboys. I'm talking about consistency, correction, and come on, man, because that was just insane what happened there on Thursday evening. Because I expected the Pacers to fight, but I didn't expect them to come out like that. Like, and the consistency really goes to Siakam. So that exactly what you were saying, Dave, and I wrote that down because I'm like, he's been the most consistent pacer throughout most of these series. So if they want to give him Finals MVP, I'm not mad at it. Some people, and we talked about it on Tuesday, might use the injury and say, well, you know, if his leg wasn't hurt, then he would probably be more consistent. But he literally showed you that I can be another option and I can be limping around the court and still make plays, because that's essentially what happened. TJ McConnell came in and pushed the pace, and then my man Tyrese was just around. He said, hey, look, if you need an assist, I can get you that. If you need a 3, I can get you that. If you need a steal, I can just be that utility guy. And you can't kill Tyrese for doing that. And then on the flip side, try to fight for Tatum and what he did last year. Because Tatum essentially was doing the same thing last year. He was just making the right plays so they can win the game. And to go out there with that injury and still make the right plays, it was lit. But out of all the players you named, right, what's my man name? The mechanic. He looked like he played for the Whispers. I mean, he sing for the Shepard. Shepard. When he hit that 3 and turned around, I was like, man, where's Bibby? Because they should have played it in that moment. And the beat goes on because the momentum went through the roof after he hit that one. It was just like, tonight is our night. But another thing I want to say is, if you look at OKC's bench and you just look at the way they were playing, I agree with you 100%, Dave, on that one. SGA, he just looked tired. I looked at a game and it just looked like he didn't get enough sleep, or he didn't get his pregame nap or something. Something was just a little bit off. But now they're going back home. So I really want to see where that intensity takes them, because throughout this whole series, it's been an up and down roller coaster on who feels like the other team is actually going to take the momentum or sway the momentum and win it. The media has been doing the same thing. Like, one day they'll say the Pacers is going to win this series because they won one game. And then OKC will come back and win the game. And they're like, see, I told you Jay Will can get 40. He one of the best players in the league. So tonight, well, not tonight, Sunday night, when it all goes down, we're going to see how the Pacers actually can play on the road. Can they keep that same momentum going? Because they don't already showed them that right hook. Now let's see if they can keep sticking that jab and win the game. Joe?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Pacers. The Pacers came out with more intensity. They wanted more. They wanted it more. They worked harder. They was just more ready for the moment. OKC weren't. You know, like they were very, like, look at these numbers. In the first half, that's it. The first half, they were down by 22 at halftime. In the first half, OKC was 1 from 11 from 3. It was just 9%. And the Pacers were 9 for 24, which is 37%. So they were killing them from 3, right? Also, turnovers. OKC has 16 turnovers. Sorry, 12 turnovers in the first half. Indiana has 6. But points off turnovers, Indiana won 16-2. So not only they're out shooting you from 3, they're forcing turnovers and scoring off of turnovers. And that was the game for real. Like, last year had 8 turnovers. Terrible. You know, like, the Indiana Pacers were just a step faster than OKC yesterday. And you saw that. Like, that's one thing about this OKC team I don't like. They tend to take their foot off the gas at the wins. When they can get a win and go into a game without the same energy, without the same enthusiasm, without the same aggressiveness. And AJ talked about that on Fade. He said that, you know, they just not aggressive, you know, and you saw that all game. The Pacers, Holly early in the game was very aggressive, even though he wasn't making his shots early, he was missing like a mud, but he was taking shots though. He was shooting the ball, which I like. You know, Siakam did. I didn't hear Siakam's voice a lot early in the game, but he started to pick up his play, like Dave said, in the second quarter. He hit that fadeaway. They had 2 buzzer beaters in the same game. It was crazy. And then we got to realize right now, me, Carl, AJ was on live, and they were saying if I'm the coach, I am resting my players in the whole fourth quarter. I'm like, no, man, no, you can't rest them. And then Obi shot a 3. I said, if Obi would have made that 3, then I'm with you. And then they get the rebound, throw it to Shepard. I'm like, yeah, sit them down. But that's good. Let them sit. Let them sit and watch them get blown out and everything, and come back more focused, because that's what it was. They asked SGA, what was the difference in this game than other games, because you turned the ball over a lot. He said, it's not like, basically, I'm paraphrasing, it's not what they did, it's just we weren't focused. Like, we weren't ready. They just played harder. He said nothing X's and O's wise was different. What was different, they weren't like guarding on full court the whole time. They would pick up like 30-something feet versus 80 feet, right? So that was the difference. But outside of that, he said it was just a lack of focus, and they were just more ready, So, but we can't have stuff like that in NBA Finals in the closeout game. You supposed to be Kobe. Yes, what happened? Kobe would close the deal. Now the rest of the team might fall off, but Kobe gonna bring the A game every time. If it's a closeout game, Kobe gonna bring it, and he want to end it right now. Y'all had champagne waiting in the locker room. Y'all want to wait 3 more days? I'm trying to party right now. We got work Monday. Y'all want to party on a Sunday? Party on Thursday? I'm just playing. But shout out to the Pacers, man.
Now they could have partied through the weekend. They would have won there that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They could have partied all through the weekend.
I will say this though. OKC's been in this position before. They've seen this happen before, where they've gotten blown out, and they come back in the next game and they play totally different than when it was when they got blown out. Remember in the first series, even though they won that game, they were getting blown out by Memphis. I think it was game 2 or game 3. Game 3 at home, they were getting blown out by Memphis. They came all the way back and won, and then swept them in the next game.
Some people say that's because of Ja getting hurt.
I guess Denver, I think they lost to Denver by like 15.
I'm with that too.
Came back in the next game and won. And then they lost. They lost by like 30 or 40 to Minnesota, and then closed them out right after that.
Yep, they did do that. So
they've been in this position before, but the Pacers is a different team. So they better come ready on Sunday, because if not, Pacers will win that game.
And if the Pacers win in 7, I think I'll officially win a bet on here.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's go Indy.
But if you lose, I'll win. Just let you know, because I'm still up on Joe. I'm still up on Joe.
Man, I can't win, because every game I pick OKC to win, they pick.
Yeah, you behind the 8-ball, man. You gotta wait for football season.
I'm picking Indiana.
Then you automatically lose, because then that means time.
But at least I get a point for the game, though.
You'll get a point, but you still lose.
Bro. I ain't picking up. I'm not getting my point. They're gonna take it out. I got. Let's make our
trying to get your jersey.
I got OKC winning.
Yeah, I do too.
Hey, I'm going.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout though.
I got Pacers.
I hope it go down to the wire, bro. This is an under. Everybody poo-pooed on this series, and look at it, game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If it go down to the last shot, and then Hallie got the ball, and they go up, and he win it. Oh my goodness.
It's gonna go crazy.
We gotta start talking about Rick Carlisle. We gotta start talking about a lot of players differently, a lot of coaches differently.
Man, I think even if they lose,
I think this would be. I think there hasn't been that many coaches that have won a title in one franchise and won it another. I know. Was it Pat Riley did it, because he did it with the Lakers in Miami. Phil Jackson did it because he did it with the Chicago and LA.
Yep.
But how many other coaches can you name that did that? Most of the coaches did it at one place.
And look at the names: Pat, Phil.
You can't even say that about Greg Popovich, because he been with San Antonio the entire time. So all his titles he won was there.
And if you think about the two teams with Pat and Phil, they both had, at the time, one of the best players in the league. Well, Dirk was one of the best players in the league, so I ain't gonna poo-poo on Dirk like that. But right now, this team here, he's got a bunch of kids out there running around. Man, it speaks a lot to like the ring culture in the league. Joe, you would agree with that, right? When it comes to like ring culture and how athletes just look at rings and how they talk about them. But hold on, let me read Ty's. Ty said the Pacers win by
blowout. That's disrespectful to OKC.